Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my corner of the internet. Once again, my name is Jason, and today we're playing some more Space Quest 3. Basically I wanted to fall down this hole, because I believe I've been solving the puzzle, we'll say, in a reverse order. Basically, let's see, like I said before, I like to, explain how I came to a conclusion rather than just going ahead and solving it. I could have just gone ahead and done something while I was there, but to do so would rob you of the, we'll say the steps needed to come to my, we'll say, logical conclusion. So fortunately, you come to a relatively soft landing in a pile of debris, and we find ourselves in this rat-infested hole. So let's go ahead and take a look around. Look around. You seem to be in a debris-enclosed hollow. Poking out of the ceiling is the chute which you originally entered through. Some crusty lamps linked by non-EUL approved wire provide additional illumination. Alright. Wires and lamps. I feel like I should be doing something here, but I'm not. Oh yeah, like I said, this is one of my, we'll say, less played rather, Space Quest games, so I'm trying to remember exactly what I need to do here. Let's take the ladder. That's right, we're gonna take the ladder. You grab the ladder and jam it in your pocket. Ouch. No, it's not just joking. I literally just grabbed the ladder. Go me. And then from here, I can't remember how to get out. Actually, I think I'm supposed to climb the ladder, am I not? I can't remember. Can I take the wire? Take wire. That won't help you now. I don't remember what to do at this point. This is not a good sign. Let's see, look at wire. Some brittle-looking wire runs from lamp to lamp and then disappears into a hole to the left. I think I was supposed to climb the ladder and then take the ladder. Let's see if I can put the ladder back down. Place ladder. Alright, yeah, then we go climb ladder, and then we take the ladder. Bending aside a thin piece of scrap, you find an opening into another area and climb on in. Take ladder. Later, that's right. Take a ladder. You grab the ladder and jam it in your pocket. And basically, what you need to do with the ladder is to use it to get on top of the, we'll say the ship, the really slick ship. So we're gonna go ahead and call this ladder because we just made some progress and we got ourselves a ladder. Go us. I'll move that mouse cursor so it's not in your way. Alright, so basically now that we've got the ladder, we can get on top of the ship, maybe we can go ahead and climb on in and then, you know, do some stuff and maybe get out of this big garbage freighter. That would probably be excellent, so let's go ahead and do just that. Like I said, if you're, we'll say, a Space Quest veteran and you know how to play this, like I said, once again, I'm doing things out of order for a very specific reason. Well, maybe not out of order, but I'm doing things in this particular order for a very specific reason. So let's go ahead and climb, into the head here. Climb into head. Now, I've stated before that, you know, Space Quest, well, I said it just in this episode that Space Quest 3 was one of my less played Space Quests, and earlier in my Let's Play series of Space Quest 1 and 2, I mentioned, you know, the order that I played them. When I was a kid, I played Space Quest 1 and Space Quest 4, and then I didn't get to Space Quest 3, 2, 3, 5, and 6 until much later. Let's place ladder. Alright, let's go ahead and save the game here because, well, you'll see. Climb ladder. You notice it to be slick up here. Be careful. Alright, open hatch. Can we open the hatch? Open hatch. You move into position and grabbing the dull finish of the hatch's its handle, commence to open and enter the ship. Yeah! Go us, we're making progress. Let's look around. At first you are surprised at how intact the ship's interior is. Immediately to your right is a panel with a red button. At midship on the right wall is the ship's main diagnostic computer. Directly across are 2 passenger seats, and ahead of you is the cockpit. Alright, let's look at the diagnostic computer. So look at computer. Power critically low, auxiliary reactor not online, insufficient power to something. I've got to do something about that speed. That is very fast. Insufficient power to commence with systems check. Using stored power below 10%. So we don't have any power. Let's see. There's a ladder here, too. Look at ladder. You don't have one of those. Well, there seems to be a service area down below. Let's look around again. Maybe it mentions it. We got the diagnostic computer directly across the 2 passenger seats. Ahead of you is the cockpit. Alright, sit in chair. Alright, that puts us in the cockpit. Look at cockpit. You are sitting in the pilot's seat of this sporty little ship. In front of you is the control panel, which contains a computer screen. Let's look at control panel. I make that sound so exciting. The control panel contains a computer screen. All ship systems are accessed through the pilot's computer. Well, use computer. Yeah. Use computer. My hands were not in the... The pilot's computer is dead. So basically we have the problem of not having any... power. There we go. The word escaped me for a second. So we'll get up. Alright, we're gonna have to leave the ship because obviously it can't work right now. The ramp is immobilized by the junk it's laying in, so you exit through the hatch instead. Alright, let's look at the top of the ship. Look at ship. It's a sleek-looking number, if you can disregard the junk it's rooted in. It must be a recent addition to the collection as everything seems to be intact. Etched on each side is the name Aluminum Mallard. On top is a small hatch. Aluminum Mallard, it's obviously a play on, something. I don't know, it could be a reference. What that could be a reference to? What's this? Look at top of ship. Pardon me, this program is too stupid. Okay, I think there's like a hole here. There's somewhere where you can sort of put something. And basically what we're supposed to do is, you remember that really heavy thing we found by our escape pod when we got out? Yeah, we need to get that in here. Because that's a thing that gives us power. So, let's go ahead and try to do that. So we're gonna go ahead and say this as playing because watch this. Oh, I fell off the top of the ship. We warned you to be careful. Did you listen? No. Good luck next time. That's right. I died. Look how high that ship was. I died from a fall that high. Okay, that's one of the more, we'll say, ridiculous deaths. All right, I mistakenly tried to walk down the ladder. Actually, I didn't. I was trying to get closer to it so I could type climb down ladder, but it didn't want to let me do that. All right, so back to the point I was saying before. A little bit of history of how I first played Space Quest 3. When I was in, I want to say high school. You know, this was 90s. So, we'll say climb. You know, the internet was still fairly new and hard to find things and all that stuff. But basically, I found a site that had, that's right, we're talking pirated copies, which is kind of, we'll say, I don't want to say ironic, or it was kind of interesting considering the subtitle of the game, Pirates of Pestilon. But anyways, I found copies of Space Quest 2 and 3. And, since I was on dial-up back in the day, you know, we were on dial-up at home, and I hated downloading things for obvious reasons. It was terrible. Come on, Roger, you coming? All right. It was miserable downloading things. So I would stay in the school's, we'll say computer labs to go ahead and download my stuff onto floppy disks. That's right, I brought a box of floppy disks with me. I downloaded Space Quest 2 and 3 onto the floppy disks, and then went home and proceeded to play it on my monochrome 286. Yes, I had an old monochrome 286 which I had up in my room, and so my first time playing Space Quest 2 and 3 was on a monochrome screen. And that was, that's how I first enjoyed these titles. And, it wasn't until, I want to say a few years later, when they came out with the Space Quest collection box. Actually, there was a few, but the one I happened to see, the one I happened to get my hands on, was the one that did not include the EGA version of Space Quest 1, which was big disappointment for me, because that was my favorite. Oh, wait, I have to get up first. Get up! Jump! And I jump onto here, and then I climb up. Okay, there we go. Good. But anyways, yeah, that was my first time, and at that time, when I played the, we'll say, downloaded copy, you know, before I bought, like, 3 copies of each game, except for numbers 5 and 6, I think. Yes. For myself, what I made it almost to the very end. I made it to the very end of number 3. I beat number 2, and made it almost to the very end of number 3, and then I got stuck. And, it wasn't, we'll say, until the... I can't remember. I want to say the Space Venture Kickstarter that happened about, what, 4 years ago now? Yeah, I think that's what it was. And, I think I'm going the wrong way. Yes, I believe I am going the wrong way. We're gonna go ahead and save this as lift, because this thing is a lift. Let's see, look around. You're riding below a narrow rail by the floor, but the freighter is a long way down to the junk piles. Alright, look at lever. Okay, push lever, or stick, right? Push, stick. Just move as you've been moving. Look at lifter or something. Look at thing. Look at... I don't know, rail? The grabber. Grabber, that's what they're calling it. Alright, look at the grabber. From your seat, you see a handle. Okay, it's the handle they're calling it. Presently being gripped by you, which controls motion, and a button marked claw. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and push... claw. And that's gonna go ahead and down, and we get to see, oh, look, that's totally not where we wanted to do the grabbing, right? We want to go one screen up. So, since the grabber didn't find anything that we wanted to grab, then it's gonna go back up, it's gonna reattach, and we're gonna go for a little joyride. I believe I can hit plus and minus to speed up the game. Do I have to use... There we go. Whee! Check out that frame rate! Zoom. Alright, so basically we want to go all the way back around here until we get to the next screen, right about here. And that should put us above the pod, roughly. So we're going to go ahead and press, push claw again, and see what the grabber happens to pick up. Oh, heck, come on, you know what it's picking up. It's picking up the power unit thing, which we're going to be slapping into the aluminum mallard. Go us. The claw senses contact with the warp motivator. Ah, that's what it is. Wait, that's not power, is it? No. Grasp it firmly and begins the ascent back to the grabber. You know, a warp motivator, that sounds more like something to do with engine flying fast, but I suppose it could serve the same sort of purpose as a reactor or something. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I love how it's got the reverse sound. You know, like when a truck or something, or like a forklift backs up. It's like beep, 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 beep. Alright, we're gonna stop right about here. I think this is where we want to drop it. So we're gonna go ahead and press claw again. Push claw. And no, that's not where I want to put it. That's not where I want to put it! Sensing the floor, the claw releases its cargo and begins the ascent to the grabber unit. No! Stupid thing, pick that back up! Alright, so we were a little off. I see my score changing. I wasn't paying attention to what it was, but I'm wondering if I may have lost some score for getting it wrong. I'm not sure what we'll say the requirements are for getting a perfect score in this game. Sensing an adequate surface, the claw releases its cargo and begins the ascent to the grabber unit. The object thuds into place within the cavity of the ship. Awesome. Alright, so now the ship may actually be useful. We might be able to get some use out of that thing. Isn't that exciting, people? I know it's exciting me, because it means that we're almost off this garbage heap. Alright, we'll say get out. And we're gonna go ahead and fall in this hole again. Alright. Fortunately, you come to a relatively soft landing in a pile of debris. And we're going to go ahead and climb back up the ladder. Now, I notice there's no rats here this time. I wonder why that is. Place ladder. I don't have it. I'm screwed. I am totally screwed at this point, aren't I? Yes, I am. Good job, Jason! Crap. I am screwed now, aren't I? Is this a dead end? I placed the ladder, I forgot to take the ladder again. I'll be right back. Alright, and we have returned! This time with the ladder. Alright, and now the rats are staring at me, because I think this is the first time I have obviously have the ladder, so it's not the first time I've been here. Place ladder! Climb the ladder! I almost typed the. The parser, words like the are not necessary. Take ladder. Alright, I take the ladder and I jam it into my pocket, And now it's time to go back to the aluminum mallard. This time here, I think I did it right this time. I don't know if that was a dead end or not. I'm pretty sure that was. I screwed up, we'll say, you know, leaving the ladder behind by the aluminum mallard, so I guess that's a bit of a flaw. You know, a lot of people, even if that wasn't a dead end, a lot of people, adventure gamers, you know, I can understand the reason for, we'll say, not liking a dead end or a dead man walking sort of scenario, but at the same time, I like it because, do I have the wires with me? I do have wire, right? Yes. See, I seem to remember getting attacked by, wait a second, I remember getting attacked by rats going through that tunnel. Look at wires. Is there something wrong with the wire? It's a piece of SQ approved electrical wire. I have a bad feeling about this, but because I remember getting attacked by the rats in that tunnel. Am I remembering wrong? No, I'm not remembering wrong. I'm remembering right. Something just did not trigger properly. And I remember the lights being off down in that, That's right, the lights were off before. I think I'm forgetting to do something. Yep, I'm definitely forgetting to do something. But, you know, we'll see what happens when I spectacularly fail. Actually, it's perfect because it's relevant to what I'm talking about. About dead ends and such. Climb ladder. Because I actually happen to like, we'll say, dead ends. I like the idea of a dead end because otherwise I feel like I'm just sort of like in this interactive story where I occasionally do something. Look at diagnostic computer. Alright, fine. I won't type the whole thing out. Look at computer. Power critically low. Using stored power below 10%. What's the red button do? I can't remember what the red button does. This could be push button. The ramp is immobilized by the junk it's laying in, so you exit through the hatch instead. Okay, so the button is to open up the hatch. Okay, so there we go. The floor of the cabin consists mainly of a ramp that is currently shut. An access panel has been removed to reveal an empty reactor compartment. That's what I've been missing. Alright, so let's look in the reactor compartment. Look at compartment. You look into the cavity and notice only 2 cable ends. Someone has made off with the ship's power supply. Oh, I need a power supply. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Okay, I think I'm remembering what I forgot. Let's climb out of the ship again. Oh, leave. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, I'm pretty sure if we remember, we saw the lights on in where the rats were. So let's go ahead and take the ladder this time, because we are gonna need it to get out of that hole. What we need to do is we need to find out where the rats are getting their power from. That's what we do, because the rats have I'm assuming that the rats set up the power, which is completely foolish of me, but, basically, there was lights down in the area where the rats were, and then you want to go ahead down there and then take, we'll say, the power supply from them. That is feeding the lights. Okay, yes, it's starting to come back to me now a little bit. Sorry, for those of you who've played this game many times, you're really going, oh my goodness, what a Space Quest noob! But you know what, Space Quest 3 wasn't really one of my favorites, and that might be because it was less, we'll say, I don't want to, maybe tainted is not the word, it was less affected by the effect of nostalgia on me, because I played it when it was much later on, but there were certain aspects about this game that just did not click with me, like the other games, the other games in the series did. I'm going to go ahead and save here. I'm going to see if I can use the ladder. Place ladder. Not from here. No, why not? Can I? Okay, I place the ladder. Climb. Oops. Wrong ladder. Come on, Jason! Climb down. So we're gonna climb back down here, and we're gonna look at the wire. Look at wire. I remember now, this brittle-looking wire runs from lamp to lamp and then disappears into a hole to the left. So we want to go over to the hole and look what's in the hole. That's what it was. Okay. Look in hole. You can't from here. I just did. Come on. You peer into the small opening and notice this tiny reactor which seems to be providing power for the lights. Take reactor. You unhook the reactor from the cheap wires and take it with you. And the room goes dark. Alright, now okay, now I remember. I remember the warp motivator, but I didn't remember the reactor. I remember that there's something to do with this area down here, but I couldn't remember what it was. But at least I was able to figure it out. I didn't have to look anything up. Go me. Take a ladder. Alright, now we're doing good. Now we have, we'll say this as reactor, because we've got the reactor. And we're gonna make our way back to the aluminum Mallard and, you know, have a whole lot of fun. But you know what I said about Space Quest 3, about the aspects I didn't like about it. One thing, actually I found the art style really weird. Because in the first two games, basically, it had sort of like an internal resolution of 160 by 200, which was then stretched out. So which means that you didn't have any truly square pixels. Everything was sort of a little bit more rectangular. And, there we go. That's what I remember. So what weird then... You seem to have been mugged by some type of large rat. As you pick loose fur from your teeth, you notice a less bulky feeling. Dun dun dun! The wires and the reactor are missing. Can I take these wires? Wires. There is no other wire here worthy of your acquisition. Alright, so I need to go back down because I think the rat actually stole the reactor from me. That seems to be my memory of things. Is that you have to go back to the hole and then just retake the reactor and then that's it. Which is a really strange puzzle to me, but whatever, I guess that works. But yeah, back to the art style. So anyways, the stretched out look worked because it applied to everything, and it kind of had like there was a certain charm to the art style there. Now when we move over to Space Quest 3, he still has that stocky look, but everything kind of looks thinner, and it kind of clashes with him. Down. Alright, so let's go ahead and take that reactor again. I'm not sure if we can take the wire. I'll go ahead and try to take the wire. You know, right after I take the reactor again. Whatever. Take reactor. Take wire. Alright, so I took some wire. So I've got the wire and I've got the reactor again. Yay. And then from what I understand, you go back up the ladder, you walk back the way you came, and you just don't get mugged this time. Very strange puzzle. I don't know what it is. Another reason I wasn't a big fan of it, as interesting as the locales were and stuff, I felt like the game was really short, actually. It wasn't one of the longest ones. There was just a different feel about the design of the game. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Space Quest 3. There's a lot of, we'll say, very cool parts in it and cool elements that I really like, and they really make up, we'll say, the mythos of the Space Quest universe. But I don't know, it's something about it doesn't click with me. That and the deaths. I like we'll say, the multitude of deaths you have in Space Quest games, but in Space Quest 3, I feel like it almost kind of goes, it goes beyond the line of, we'll say, funny or goofy or, you know, almost cartoonish death, like a parody type thing, to kind of trying to be funny by being gruesome. And, I don't know, I just don't feel like it fits with, I feel it doesn't seem to fit. It kind of clashes with the previous two entries in the series. Now, like, now I'm not against, we'll say, gore or gruesomeness. Like, if you're a we'll say a long-standing member of my channel, if that makes no sense. But if you've been around for a while, or you know me well, you know that like one of my favorite games is Serious Sam, and Serious Sam 3 I think is a hilarious, and it's awesome in that you know, you're tearing people's hearts out, and it's just terrible. It's like, it's so gruesome. Ladder. Okay, let's take the ladder. You don't need it up here. Oh, fine, I'll just open hatch. And, you know, that it doesn't bother me because it's part of what the series is. My problem is not with the, we'll say, gruesomeness itself. It's that it feels to me like it clashes with the rest of the series. Anyways, let's go ahead and place reactor in hole. You drop the reactor into the hole. In attempting to reconnect the cables, you find that one is much too short. Ah, use wires. Da-da! You carefully connect the wire between the ship and the reactor, putting the tile back in place once you've finished. Alright! Looks like the aluminum Mallard is up and running. Well, kind of. We'll call this one the AM because it's the aluminum Mallard and I don't feel like doing a whole lot of typing. So let's look at the computer screen now. Look at computer. Power level nominal. Auxiliary reactor online. Alright, so actually that's cool. I forgot about that. Auxiliary reactor nominal. So it's going through sort of a check. Landing gear. Nominal. They're functional. Warp motivator is nominal. So we have a warp motivator working as well. Looks like the bird's in good shape. Looks like it's time for us to get the heck out of here. So let's go ahead and sit in seat. Look at panel. The control panel contains a computer screen. All ships. Okay, look at screen. There we go. Sorry. Okay, I can't save right now. Press F6 for the cockpit view. So that's basically to get out of this current view. So we've got access to engines, navigation system, and I'm pushing the wrong button. Engines, navigation system. Say full thrust necessary before maneuvering. All right. So I need to work on basically taking off. So we're looking at 3 takeoff. So let's go ahead and try that. 3. Oh wait, maybe I should turn on the engines first. That might be a good idea. Let's hit 1. Thrust generation underway. Adequate thrust achieved. Alright. 3. Let's take off. You feel a strong rumbling as the ship strains to loosen itself from the confines of the junk heap accumulated at its base. Finally, it begins to rise. That's a cool scene. I like that. It's got even a little bit of like parallax to it. Scrolling, so that you got sort of a feeling of dimension there. The ship rises successfully, but collides with the top of the freighter. The resulting explosion sends a potpourri of flesh and metal fragments careening in all directions. Yay! Your radar is designed to avoid just such an occurrence. So it gives us a hint about what we're supposed to do, but that's all right because I am out of time for today. So we've figured out how to get the aluminum Mallard working, and next time we will take to the depths of space. So if you like the content, would like to see more, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, leave it a thumbs down. Either way, let me know what you thought in the comment section, and until next time, game on.